Hey everybody, Justin Givens here, the Technical Director at Image in a Box, and today we're going to cover the Acquisition Overview Report. We're going to talk about how to get to the report, what kind of report information is it giving us, and then how to use the report. So let's dive right in. How do you get to the Acquisition Report? I'm glad you asked. On the left-hand side, we're going to navigate to Acquisition, click on it, and then click on Overview. This report is a collective view of how people are getting to your website. It will also show you what channels that are driving the most conversions holistically. So first and foremost, let's set our date range to we know what we're looking at. So I'm going to go up here to the top right, click here, and I'm going to say let's look at the month of September in 2019. So I'm going to select September 1st and September 30th and then click apply. Now, each report in Google Analytics has different heading information up here at the top. So in the acquisition overview, it's got a primary dimension and conversions. If your website is around e-commerce, you might see the e-commerce option. If you don't have e-commerce, you won't see this option, but you will see all goals and then any goals you've added into Google Analytics. On the primary dimension, that will show you if you wanted to look at top sources and mediums at the same time. You can see how it changes the report altogether. If you just want to look at top sources or even just look at top mediums, you can interact with the report. You can change it to see how you're looking at. I'm going to set it back to the default channel grouping. All right, and right below that setting is you will see the pie chart with showing you the top channels, and you can hover and interact with the pie chart. You can get contextual information from it, just like the line graphs as well. I want to see what happened right here on September 17th. Oh, we had 3,000 users, and let's find September 17th over here on the conversion chart, and you can see we had 11.69 conversion rate. Again, this information will be tailored to how you've set up your Google Analytics. Users will be there. The conversion data will be different depending on your website. All right. So going down to the table, which is where the meat of the information is. On the left-hand side, this first column over here that I've got highlighted, you'll see it's got 1 through 8. Those are the default channel names. So organic search is basically all search traffic that you did not pay for. So it might come from Bing. It might come from Google. It might come from another search engine, okay? Google knows a lot of the sources, so it has grouped them into these default channels. Referrals are people who have other websites that are linking to your content. So if you have a blog, or if you think about it from a news site, if a news site talks about your company and links to you, you'll get some referral traffic from that. Direct is exactly what it is. The end users know your website, they type it in directly and go to it. Paid search is sort of self-explanatory, but just to make sure everybody's on the same page, you paid for a click for that keyword, you did something in a bidding fashion and spent money for that click. Social, yes, social is coming from the social networks. Now, as new social networks come out, this information will be updated within the Google Analytics system, but Google knows the majority of social platforms, and it will group those links that come back to your website as social. The affiliates is something custom that Google added in for this demo profile. Other, you might see some other traffic, and that's really good where you can click on it and dive into that. And then the display default channel name is using the Google Ads display network and running ads that way, and that's how Google tags that traffic. It shows up as display. Going across the top of this table, you've got the acquisition section, which contains users, which again is like you and me. New users, somebody who has never been to your website before. And then sessions, which is a user's specific visit to your website within a given time period. And again, as always, users can have multiple sessions. The next set of information is behavior data. So what's the bounce rate? The bounce rate is when a user comes to your website, lands on it, and then leaves. They do nothing else. There's no interaction with the page. They just leave. The next item is pages per session. So how many pages are users looking at for each session when they come to it? The next one is the average session duration. So how long are users staying on your site and what's the average from this date range? The next grouping of data is conversions. So if you don't have a conversion set up, remember that we are here to help you understand what is a conversion on your website. It might be a form submission, it might be something else. But again, we're here to help you understand that and also how we can configure Google Analytics for you in that sense. But the Google goal conversion number here is showing you what's the rate, how many people are converting, all right? The goal completion, so how many goals have been completed, which then equates into the goal conversion rate, and then goal values. As you can see here, there's 0 goal values. Not every goal will have a value assigned to it. If you're in the e-commerce world, that value will come from the transaction total. So if you think about it in that sense. So that's the report layout. Let's actually show you how to work with this table. So maybe you want to find the default channel name that brings in the most users. So you see this little arrow that's pointing down right now, it's sorting descending. So it's showing you organic is bringing in the most users. But we want to see who's bringing in the most new users. So I can click on that column heading and you'll see it flipped. Now, it's sorted and it's showing 31,000 now. Maybe I want to see the channel that's bringing the least new users. So if I flip it around there, you'll then see display. The arrow is now pointing up instead of down, so it's showing you ascending. So the 659 new users is from the display network. Another good thing to look at is to look at what channel is bringing in the most engagement. So how would I look at for engagement? I would use pages per session. So looking at that information, I want to sort it to see descending. So I want my arrow going down. Oh, wow. Look at referral traffic. Referral traffic is on average having 6.32 sessions or pages per session. Again, that's great. I'd like to dive in more. You can click on almost anything blue within Google Analytics. So you can see here the blue here and those kind of things. Another great use of this is when you have conversions set up, which we strongly recommend getting those set up as soon as possible, is seeing which channel are driving the most conversions. So if we click over here, we're going to sort the table and you can see referral traffic is driving 25% from that standpoint. That's awesome. Maybe I want to see which channel is not performing the best, and you can see here it's display. So this would help you understand, hey, maybe display is not working like we thought it would. Maybe we don't need to spend as much. Maybe we should put our money somewhere else from a marketing strategy planning standpoint. So again, this report, this table, you can interact with it. You can click around, you can adjust items, sort them differently to get information that you're looking for to make better marketing decisions off of. So again, this is the acquisition overview report, and that's how to use it. Have a great day.